Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
An electrical device that resists the flow of electrical current. A secret group organized to overthrow a government or occupation force. The action of opposing something that you disapprove or disagree with. He encountered a general feeling of resistance from many citizens. Medicine, the condition in which an organism can resist disease. A material's opposition to the flow of electric current, measured in ohms. Any mechanical force that tends to retard or oppose motion. Group action in opposition to those in power. Psychiatry, an unwillingness to bring repressed feelings into conscious awareness. The capacity of an organism to defend itself against harmful environmental agents. These trees are widely planted because of their resistance to salt and smog. The degree of unresponsiveness of a disease-causing microorganism to antibiotics or other drugs, as in penicillin-resistant bacteria. The military action of resisting the enemy's advance. The enemy offered little resistance. An electrical device that resists the flow of electrical current. Conducted with or marked by hidden aims or methods. Underground resistance. An electric railway operating below the surface of the ground, usually in a city. In Paris, the subway system is called the metro, and in London it is called the tube, or the underground. A secret group organized to overthrow a government or occupation force. Under the level of the ground. Underground caverns. The act of hostile groups opposing each other. The invaders encountered stiff opposition. An armed adversary, especially a member of an opposing military force. The action of opposing something that you disapprove or disagree with. Despite opposition from the newspapers, he went ahead. A contestant that you were matched against. The relation between opposed entities. A body of people united in opposing something. A direction opposite to another. The major political party opposed to the party in office and prepared to replace it if elected. Her Majesty's loyal opposition. An act exempting someone. He was granted immunity from prosecution. Medicine, the condition in which an organism can resist disease. The state of not being susceptible. The quality of being unaffected by something. Immunity to criticism. A material's opposition to the flow of electric current, measured in ohms. A material's opposition to the flow of electric current, measured in ohms. A material's opposition to the flow of electric current, measured in ohms. A material's opposition to the flow of electric current, measured in ohms. A material's opposition to the flow of electric current, measured in ohms. A device that produces or is powered by electricity. A political unit organized to promote revolution. A military engagement. He saw action in Korea. A judicial proceeding brought by one party against another. One party prosecutes another for a wrong done or for protection of a right or for prevention of a wrong. The operating part that transmits power to a mechanism. The piano had a very stiff action. Institute legal proceedings against. File a suit against. She actioned the company for discrimination. Put in effect. He actioned the operation. The state of being active. He is out of action. A process existing in or produced by nature, rather than by the intent of human beings. The action of natural forces. An act by a government body or supranational organization. Recent federal action undermined the segregationist position. Something done, usually as opposed to something said. There were stories of murders and other unnatural actions. The most important or interesting work or activity in a specific area or field. The action is no longer in technology stocks but in municipal bonds. The series of events that form a plot. His novels always have a lot of action. The trait of being active and energetic and forceful. A man of action. The procedure that is varied in order to estimate a variable's effect by comparison with a control condition. Develop, a child's or animal's, behavior by instruction and practice, especially to teach self-control. Specify as a condition or requirement in a contract or agreement. Make an express demand or provision in an agreement. The state of good health, especially in the phrases in condition, or in shape, or out of condition, or out of shape. A state at a particular time. A condition, or state, of disrepair. Usually plural, a statement of what is required as part of an agreement. The contract set out the conditions of the lease. An assumption on which rests the validity or effect of something else. Information that should be kept in mind when making a decision. A mode of being or form of existence of a person or thing. The human condition. An illness, disease, or other medical problem. A heart condition. Apply conditioner to in order to make smooth and shiny. I condition my hair after washing it. Establish a conditioned response. Put into a better state. He conditions old cars. A state at a particular time. The current status of the arms negotiations. The relative position or standing of things or especially persons in a society. He had the status of a minor. A physical phenomenon involving electricity. A physical phenomenon associated with the equilibrium or motion of objects. Action taken by a group of people. The trait of being unwilling. In spite of our warnings, he plowed ahead with the involuntariness of an automaton. The trait of being unwilling. His unwillingness to cooperate vetoed every proposal I made. The amount that can be contained. The gas tank has a capacity of 12 gallons. An electrical phenomenon whereby an electric charge is stored. The susceptibility of something to a particular treatment. The power to learn or retain knowledge. In law, the ability to understand the facts and significance of your behavior. A specified function. He was employed in the capacity of director. Capability to perform or produce. Among his gifts is his capacity for true altruism. Computer science, the amount of information, in bytes, that can be stored on a disk drive. The capacity of a hard disk drive is usually expressed in megabytes. The maximum production possible. The plant is working at 80% capacity. Tolerance for alcohol. He had drunk beyond his capacity. The quality of being capable, physically or intellectually or legally. He worked to the limits of his capability. An aptitude that may be developed. The susceptibility of something to a particular treatment. The capability of a metal to be fused. The quality of being unresponsive, not reacting. As a quality of people, it is marked by a failure to respond quickly or with emotion to people or events. In an instant all the deadness and withdrawal were wiped away. The inanimate property of something that has died. The physical property of something that has lost its elasticity. He objected to the deadness of the tennis balls. The quality of being unresponsive, not reacting. As a quality of people, it is marked by a failure to respond quickly or with emotion to people or events. She began to recover from her numb unresponsiveness after the accident. A military engagement. A resistor inserted into a circuit to compensate for changes, as those arising from temperature fluctuations. Resistors connected in series across a voltage source, used to obtain a desired fraction of the voltage. Resistor for regulating current. Resistors connected in series across a voltage source, used to obtain a desired fraction of the voltage. A resistor inserted into a circuit to compensate for changes, as those arising from temperature fluctuations. An electrical device for starting and regulating fluorescent and discharge lamps. An attribute that tends to give stability in character and morals, something that steadies the mind or feelings. Any heavy material used to stabilize a ship or airship. Coarse gravel laid to form a bed for streets and railroads. Make steady with a ballast. A resistor inserted into a circuit to compensate for changes, as those arising from temperature fluctuations.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.